Hello YouTube. Today is I think it's November the 10th. Gotta get my days right. Want to give you an update on the house so far. So last week hit a couple of really big milestones for us. So let's first talk about some of the stuff that happened on the outside. I guess that's probably the most important, especially to my wife. We got our mailbox completed. So let's see if I could turn my camera around, but nonetheless, here's the mailbox. They were able to get completed for us. So that was a big milestone for us, for sure. Kind of lets us know we're getting close to the end. So this week in the house, there was some tile work that needed to be completed. There was a couple of pieces short. I think I talked about that in the last video. A couple of pieces were short, and they were able to come out and finish that. At the same time, the electricians came out and got the air conditioner unit running. So all of that electrical tie-in for the electrical as well as the conduit is already completed, and they were able to get the air conditioner running. So that's good news as well. We still have a problem with some of the circuit inside the house. So there's still about a third of the house that doesn't have, well, it's not, the power's not working. So I'm sure it's just a troubleshooting issue, but they haven't been out to do that. Also, last weekend, we had 3 lights that my wife and I bought, and at the very beginning stages of the house. So I'm talking about even before the plans were finalized. We found some pretty cool antique lights that we liked. So I was able to get those rewired and hung this past weekend. And I got some pictures of the lights themselves in the completed stage. I didn't take pictures or video of me actually doing the lights. Honestly, I just didn't even think about it. I probably should have. It was a little more in-depth than just hanging them. We hung them directly from the ceiling, and so trying to figure out how to make that work was a little bit of a challenge, but me and my son was able to get those up, and they are working as well. In addition to the plumbing the tile work that was completed this week, they got the permanent floors in. So now the final flooring is down on in the house, and so it looks really good. I have some pictures of that. It's Sunday, and there's a guy here now who is covering the floors so they don't get damaged through the remaining work that needs to be done in the house. So those floors got completed. The tile work is nearly done. Well, the tile work is actually done. There's a few little grouting that needs to be completed, but for the most part, it's about 95% complete. In addition, the plumber was here since we last talked. He was able to put in most of the fixtures. About 85% of the fixtures are in. Some of the things, like we have a pedestal sink inside of the half bath. We had to wait until the permanent floor was down before he installs that. So that's still missing. None of the toilets are in yet. But the outside spigots, sorry, I couldn't think about it. Spigots are installed. So about 85% of the plumbing, I would say, is complete. The backsplash was done last week as well. So the backsplash that goes in the wet bar as well as the kitchen is completed. So we're good there. I think the last time we talked, the fans were already up. So I would guess probably, so we're close to about probably about 85% of the electrical is done as well. So we're coming up to the home stretch. The update email from the builder last week told us that he is close to lockout. And lockout means I've learned different things for different countries. If you Google lockout, you come up with a lot of definitions from Canada or Australia. And when they say lockout, that means it's to a stage of the build where they can actually lock the structure, so they can lock it out altogether and secure things. Well, here, that's not exactly what that means, or at least not what my builder's term is using it. So I had to get educated on that. I asked him, what does lockout mean? And he told me, basically, it's the final trim, final paint, final plumbing, final electrical, and then, of course, appliances. So we are at that stage now of lockout. He'll begin that next week. The original plan for us was to be in the house, or at least have the house completed by November 22nd. We're going on vacation on that day, so it was a good benchmark for us, or at least deadline for us. We're gonna overshoot that just by a little bit, but not by much. So hopefully the first week of December he'll be completed. So he has all of this week that's coming up here, starting tomorrow, as well as the following week. And then we'll go on vacation that Friday, and we'll be gone for the better part of a week. And then when we come back, which is the end of November, the 1st is, I think that's Sunday. So hopefully he's made a lot of progress between now and then, mainly because we have an event set for the house on in middle of December that we are really trying to meet. So I think that we'll be able to do that. He's confident in that, and I am confident in him to be able to deliver that date. Let's see. Oh yeah, the back porch was screened in. Here in South Mississippi, especially in this area, we discovered when we moved out here for the bill that between May and June, there's some humongous horse flies and yellow flies, or deer flies, one of them. Anyway, they sting and they hurt. So we really wanted to put a lot of focus on our outdoor kitchen, and it'd be hard to do that if we wouldn't be able to sit out there because of these flies. So we screened the back porch in. That was completed last week as well. Looks really good. So we're happy about that. I think the appliances really is the next big thing that he's going to do after he gets the lockout done. So the trim carpenter comes back in next, and probably the plumber at the same time. I'm sure they can work together at the same time. But the trim carpenter will be here to do the final trim, put the quarter round along the baseboards, finish up the trim around the cabinets, as well as preparing for the closets to be finally trimmed out, final trim. And then, in addition to that, when the plumber comes back, he'll do his last bit that he has, and then the painters come in. And from what he's telling me, the painters are the last to come in, mainly because he wants to make sure that everything else is complete, so no doors or walls are nicked that can't be fixed after they're done. So we're really at the last stages. I think we're 2-3 weeks at a minimum, probably less than 4 at a max. So we're really glad of where we are. The build is still doing really good. The communication with the builder is doing great. We're on budget. Even with all the changes that we have made throughout the house, and some of the things that we decided to do, primarily because of the return on the changes, we're still within budget. So we're really glad about that. We're in the process of locking our loan, or locking our rate. So last week we went on and communicated to the mortgage company, or to the bank, sorry, that we were ready to start locking. The rates are pretty low. They had dropped a little bit, so we want to go ahead and take advantage of that. It's meaning that we're less than 60 days out. I told you guys before that we have to be mindful of the VA requirements, because we are using the VA benefits, and so we're kind of on the lookout for that. We can't close before December. I think it's like the 13th or 14th, something like that. So anyway, we can lock and still be within 30 or 45 days, which gives you the lowest rate, I believe. So we're in the process of doing that, and hopefully we'll make some headway on that next week or this week coming up. There was a problem with the mortgage company's computer system last week and over the weekend. So we're hoping that doesn't really affect what we're trying to do. But nonetheless, we're there. So it is lock time. So it's go time really at the build. There are some things that I've discovered that is a little more difficult to do. One is which is watering the grass. So I put 10,000 square feet of sod down, and watering 10,000 square feet of sod can be a little bit of a challenge. So I have 3 sprinklers that I have to move throughout the yard to try to make sure I get a pretty good coverage, and have to do it twice a day. So that's been a little bit of work, but it's not overbearing. It's just something I didn't plan for. Fortunately, we've had a lot of rain in the last probably 3 weeks since the sod's been down, 2-3 weeks since the sod's been down. So I haven't had to do it too much, but this weekend it's been pretty nice and warm and dry. So I was really focusing on that this weekend. I just turned the sprinklers on this morning as well. So I might try to do a walkthrough a little later on. If I don't, before I upload this video, I'll do one during the end of the week. The guys in here are working now to cover the floor, so I don't think there'll be an opportunity for me to go over there, especially before noon today. But I do have some snapshots, so I'll try to upload those in the video so you can kind of see those as well. Let's see. I don't have anything else that I can think of off the top of my head. Like I said, hopefully by the end of next weekend, we'll be able to see a clear timeline. He's saying the first week of December, or the 1st of December is what he said. So, I'm putting that as the first week of December, mainly because if he doesn't meet the 1st of December, it's going to really alter our event that we have planned for the middle of December. So, because we still have to move in. So that means we have to unload everything out of storage and get it out here, then unpacked and put in the house. So I'm really hoping that first week of December. Plus I've already lined up help to get the stuff from storage here. And I guess we'll talk about that too, how I'm going to make the move out here. The distance from here to where our storage unit is probably about 12-13 miles. And I have a F-350 and a trailer, and I have a buddy who has a 350 and a trailer, but that's not going to be able to get this storage unit emptied out in a timely fashion. So the goal right now is to rent a big U-Haul truck and then put everything inside of there, and then fill up the 2 trailers and the 2 trucks and make the trek out here then. So we're kind of hoping that works out for us. I'm kind of thinking that it will. If it makes it in 1 trip, that'll be great, but 2 would probably be more realistic, just because of the size and how you have to be able to pack things. So I think we'll be able to get it done. It's just going to be a challenge. So nonetheless, I got nothing else for this week. Like I said, I'll try to upload a walkthrough with this video, but if I don't, it's just because I ran out of time, mainly because guys over there, and I have some stuff to do here around noon, so I may not be able to get the walkthrough done. But I will definitely attach the pictures that I've taken this week, the backsplash, the floor. I don't think I have any of the back screen, but I'll take what I have and upload with this video. Until next time.